Hi there, welcome back to More Creating by Sue. I'm Sue and I create printable planner stickers for free on my website. I also have a couple of bundles if you'd like to purchase those. If you want, you can follow me on Instagram at More Creating by Sue. My website is morecreatingbysue.weebly.com. Today we're going to be working on the August 2025 third week, which is if you're doing my challenge with me, the challenge is to create a fun vacation layout. So I've already got my stickers all cropped, and I'm going to be using my beach vacation stickers, which you can get on my website for free. And these are the beach time, and this is the dashboard stickers. There's also classic and big classic stickers in that file. So let's get started. This is the third week of August. It'll be on the front page of my planner. So if you're using my printable planner page, I have a front page which has the washi on the left, and I have a back page which has the washi on the right, so that you can print on both sides of your paper. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add the word August at the top of my page because, well, it's August. And then I'm going to use these number stickers to add my numbers on the days of the week. Okay, so if I put the 10th here, I'm going to grab the 10. And you'll notice that these are all stuck together. There's a couple things I could do. I can use my knife tool to cut those, or I can just fill in the color to match this color and handwrite it once I print it, which is what I'm going to do. If I wanted to use the knife tool, I would just use the knife and I would just cut on those lines, and that would separate those for me. But it's faster for me just to color in the boxes and handwrite them after I print it, which is usually what I do anyway. I just thought since I had them that I would go ahead and use them. So I'm going to go to my color picker and I'm going to actually choose that color to fill in my boxes, and I'm going to remove the transparency. And then once I print, I can just handwrite in those numbers on my planner. So let's go ahead and get started on filling in some things that I always do. I always do my laundry on Sunday. So I can grab a to-do or a box or just a decorative sticker and handwrite that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this to-do sticker, and then I'm going to grab a color box, and we'll put the to-do on the top of that. We'll layer that on top. And you can make these bigger if you want. So then I'll handwrite in laundry. On Mondays, I always go to the grocery store. So I'm going to put, let's do this one. And those of you who've been following along with my plan with me, you know that I like to create my layouts in silhouette so that I can resize my stickers as I need to. And we're going to just put that little flower right on there. So that's for groceries. And then on Tuesday, I have an appointment. So I'm going to grab one of these appointment stickers, and let's do this purple one, and we'll make that bigger. And then you can put in what your appointment is, and you can write the time of it, and then when you go to it, you can just check it off. And we'll put this little flamingo over here by that. Actually, yeah, I'll do that. That's fine. And then I don't have any more appointments for the rest of that week, so I can go ahead and just start filling in with my decorations and other things that I want to do. I do want to add, maybe right here at the bottom on my daily to-dos, I have started exercising again. Yay me. So I'm going to put this little tracker here. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger so that it kind of looks like it fits right underneath that box there. And then I'll just write in exercise, and I can check those off as I do it. You can put that anywhere. I just kind of like to do it under my to-do list there. So we'll do that. And let's see. Let me have one of these little pieces of washi. We'll just put that right there next to it. So now it's just a matter of decorating your planner and making it pretty. I'm going to take that back out. I don't like it. I'm going to take this sticker here, and I'm going to put it on the meals, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to line that up. Now, because I have my snapping guides on, it's wanting to snap that into that place. It's wanting to snap it into a position that you may not like. So what you can do is you can actually turn off your snapping guides if you want to, and that would help with that snapping into place. I decided I liked it here better. But what I'm going to do is, now that it's there, I'm going to send it to the back so that you can actually see the writing. And then I will make these boxes lose their transparency so that you can see. I'll give it a little bit, just so that you can see the words on there. And another thing you could do if you wanted to is you could flip that picture so that the picture itself would be on this side so that you can kind of see better the words. But this is fine. I like this. This is nice. Okay. And now we'll do one for put something behind the meals and the weekly to do. And I've just decided I just don't like that there, so we're going to move that up here, and we're going to make it a little bit less see how they're ovals? I want them to be circles. So we're going to just shrink it down. And then once you get it, I'm shrinking that down so it looks more like a circle than an oval. Then I can make it bigger, make the whole thing bigger. And I'm going to put that on Saturday. I always start my week on Sundays. I tried starting on Mondays and I just don't like it. I know some people, they'll start their week on Monday, and I just can't get used to that. Let's use this. So if I go through my week and I exercise every day, by the time I get to the end of the week, it would be Saturday. So that's why I put it on Saturday. And I don't think I have a piece of washi that I can use. Nope. So what I'll do with that is I'll just fill in this box with the colors, and I'm going to use this gradient button, and I'm going, actually I'll go back. I'm going to add some colors to my palette, So we'll add this one. So add, and then I'm going to add this pink color. And you can add as many as you want. I'm just going to go ahead and do 3, and I'm going to do this green color. And I'll take these off because I don't want to use those. And you'll see why I did this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my gradient fill, and right now it's a solid fill, but if I choose one of these gradient fills, it just kind of gives it a little bit more of a pretty look to it. So now once I've chosen the gradient fill, I'm going to come over here to advanced options. I'm going to click on the first button, and then I'm going to click on my color, and then I'm going to click on the next one and choose the next color, and then the next one will be green. And actually I'm going to do this one in green, and I'll take this green off, and I'll just move this over just a little bit. So now I have those 3 colors on my washi, and that's how you can do a gradient. You can do the ombre by using one color and just going down the color line in that color. To do that, it might be easier to come back to your single color and choose the color that you want. And then over here you see how this slider, you have all these different options in that color palette. So I'm going to undo because I want my gradient back. And let's start adding some more. Let's do this one, but what I want to do is I'm going to move it, and I'm going to place this behind my meals box. So I'm going to kind of line it up. And then what you could do is you could either use your knife tool and cut that, or what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this little really light gray box, and I'm going to duplicate that, bring it over and put it on top, make it a little bigger so that the box fits in there. Now you want to take the color out of the box so that it has no color in it, still has the line around it, and you want to select both of those and then crop it. And what that'll do is create a box that's the size of that box behind, so that when you place it on there and you send it to the back, so let's send it to the back, and then let's get rid of the gray box that's there, and there you have an image behind. Just as easy as that. And you can do that with any of your images. So let's try on the to-do. Let's try this one. So we want to make that bigger. I like flowers. I don't know if you can tell that or not. Duplicate. Bring it over. Make sure you put it in a position where you're going to get your image. Take the color out of it. Select both and crop. Now when I bring that over, I can set it on top of the gray. I'm going to send it to the back. I'm going to get rid of this gray one right here. And then I have an image behind, and you can adjust that to the size you want it to be. And you could do that with all of these if you want to. You can add those images. I'm not going to do that, but you could. So now I'm just going to start adding in some, I don't know, I don't understand why this is connected. So what I want to do with that is I want to unconnect that. So I'm going to make it bigger, and I'm going to do it by using the eraser tool, because if I use my knife, I could use my knife. If I use my knife, I'm going to want to go up and use freehand, because I want it to go right along that edge there. So I do have this little bit on here, but when I put that over, you can't see it because my background is white. If your background was a different color, you might want to try to erase that or get rid of that. And then if you wanted to use this one, what you could do is you could take out that white by tracing around the picture. And I'm not going to get anywhere with that because it's going to, see how it has this, like, it almost looks fuzzy around it. You can change that tolerance. If you make it more, if you make that number bigger, it gives you less of that. I don't know if you can see that. Let me see if I can pull it down. Yeah. So I'm going to get rid of that actually. I'm not going to use that image anyway. So we'll just get rid of that. Alright, let's see. If I wanted to use that, it's right here. I could use this one over here. And when you put that over there, see it, you can't even see the white outline of it because the paper is white. And now I'm just adding my decorations. And I do know I have a birthday on Saturday, so let's move this little cake over here. And I will just handwrite in the person's birthday. If you had more than one, then you could just select it and you can duplicate that so that you have another one that you could use. So if you have more than one coffee date, then you could go there and you could use that little coffee cup and duplicate it to make more than one of them. And let's do pizza night on Friday. And of course you can make it bigger. So I'll remember to write pizza in on my meal plan at the bottom. Groceries on Monday. I don't have a laundry one. Well, I do have here, this one. This little washer. You don't have to use it, but if you wanted to, you could put that there to just a little reminder on Sundays that you do the laundry. I do my planning on Fridays. So, just kind of adding in these little fun little details. And I have to do the floors on this week. So, vacuum. I don't like doing the floors. That's why I have my little weekly reminder. I have a cat that sheds like crazy and a dog that sheds like crazy, so I run my Roomba every other day, but I still have to vacuum with my regular vacuum at least every other week. Otherwise it gets to be too much. And my husband has allergies to the cat, so I have to really stay on top of that. Alright, I think that's going to do it. I always have more stickers than what I'm going to use, and that's okay. If I wanted to, instead of just having my laundry on here, I could move one of these over, just like a little to-do list of things that I want to do, but I already have that over here, so I'm not going to double do that. These dashboard stickers are just really nice because you have all these work stickers, you have appointment stickers. I could even use one of these for my exercise instead of this one. Actually, I think I'm going to do that. I'm glad I saw that. Let's do this one. Make it bigger. Yes, I definitely like that better. I can even move it down a little because I know I'm going to write in the birthday here. So let's actually move that over to here. Actually, let's put it up a little bit so it's out of the way. I like to kind of have a good place. I like to do lettering, and so I'll make it a fancy little happy birthday, and then I'll put the person's name there. All right, this looks good. So I think I'm going to leave it as is. If I wanted to, I could put a piece of washi up underneath. Yeah, that looks good actually. I'll leave that there. I'll handwrite in all the rest of it, and I hope you enjoyed this plan with me. It went a little longer. I like to talk. You can always fast forward through the parts that you don't need to listen to. So have a great week, and I will see you next time.